Good morning, everyone. I have to get Rocky the Rapture Cat up here first because he doesn't like to sit still. The only time cats sit still is when they're sleeping. You run around the tent for a little while and then here, go lay down. Kitty, kitty, kitty. Kitty, kitty, kitty. What's going on behind? See all the critters back there? All the birds? Yeah, I got his attention. The title for today is Keep Your Lamps Full. We'll get into that in a second. Let me see if I can do this without disturbing the kitties. As long as he's sitting still, he's fine. Christians should be excited for these times. You're going to hear me say that at the beginning of every video. This is important. We are in, the Bible calls it the end of days, I call it the end times. They've been calling it the last days since Jesus was here. So I don't want to use that because that's 2,000 years old. We're seeing things happen that are described in the Bible now. I got him some nail clippers. I got to try to do that later. He's not going to be happy. They take a while to get used to having their nails trimmed. I don't have a harness to just strap him in so that he can't move, so I'll probably do one every hour. I'll probably have more cut marks on my arms. Okay, so you should be excited for these times, but you also have to be prepared for these times. We can't change things that are going to happen. We can keep our own little area safe. God will allow us to do that, but we're not going to go back to the way we were. Our country is gone. It's been destroyed already. Even if Trump were to get in, and I'm not 100% sure he can, even if he were to get in, I don't think he can fix the problems. 34 trillion in debt. Who is that? Okay. I'm just looking to see who's pulling in. It's a little later than normal because we're heading into winter and the days are getting shorter. It's been about an hour since sunup, I think. And I didn't want to get up because it's cold. I'm got an open window too, so that kind of helps. All right. If you like this video, click like. It helps YouTube to know how to place it. Also, if you subscribe, it also helps the numbers, but it'll help you by getting, and you can click the bell icon, you'll be notified when I release a new video. I try to do it on schedule. Do you get a notice when I post a picture? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Also, you can share this video with others. That helps to extend the outreach. I'm not under as much control as I have been, and I'm expecting them to get their act together soon and come back with full controls. They threatened to cancel this channel. They didn't say it in that many words, but they came out with a notice a while back. Oops, we're sorry, we deleted your account. Yeah. Shot across the bow. Okay, so let's get started. Keep your lamps full. The title is the same as being prepared. Just different wording. That's what it means. If you've got your lamps full and you know that something's coming and you're trying to be ready for it. I tell you repeatedly to be prepared. It's nothing to be taken lightly. It's not a laughing matter or a joke. It is, we have work to do, and we're going to work right all the way up to the last moment that we can be here. And we can already see we've just had 2 hurricanes go by. Do you think those people are laughing? Nope. Those that are still alive are crying. Now, there's only so much you can do to prepare yourself for monster hurricanes. We know the devastation from Helene. We don't know yet about Milton. They haven't had time to get out and survey. We know that 2 or 3 million people in Florida are without power. We know that there were 126 tornadoes in one day. It's not a record, but that's number 2. I think Alabama had it back in, I don't know, 20 years ago. We know that there's damage from that. We just don't know how much yet. So you have to keep your lamps full. You have to be prepared. And you see how happy the government is to step in and help. These evil satanic people in our government want everyone dead, not just Christians. They're part of the World Economic Forum, and they want 80% of the population reduced, and they don't care who does it. Okay, so turn with me to Matthew 25:1, just as a refresh. At that time, the kingdom of heaven will be like 10 virgins who took their lamps and went out to meet the bridegroom. We know the story, and this is a traditional Jewish Galilean type event anyway. If you've seen the, what's the movie? Before the Wrath movie. I think it's narrated by Kevin Sorbo. If you've seen that movie, and there's a lot of familiar faces in it, where they talk to preachers throughout it. After the ceremony where they get engaged, and for all practical purposes, that is a marriage, they just don't consummate it until the bridegroom goes away to his father's house to build a mansion or a room on the house. And when he comes back, and only the father knows when he can come back, because the father has to approve the preparations. Typically it's at night. It's not during the daytime for them. Now, we're on a 24/7 schedule on the world because all around the world people are watching. So for some it will be day, some it will be night. He's not going to do it based on time zones. Rapture, 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 rapture. Oh, we got everybody now. Everybody all at once. Verse 2, 5 of them were foolish and 5 were wise. Which one would you rather be? The foolish ones took their lamps but did not take any oil with them. The wise ones, however, took oil in jars along with their lamps. The bridegroom was a long time in coming, and they all became drowsy and fell asleep. A lot of our church has fallen asleep. So don't be part of that. Luke 12:35. Be dressed, ready for service, and keep your lamps burning. That was his version of it, and that's the ending. So you don't necessarily have to go to sleep with your clothes on, ready to go, but figuratively, that's what you have to do. 1 Peter 1:13. Therefore keep watch. See, we're commanded to keep watch, because you do not know the day or the hour. And we don't. Now, the specific use of day and hour was used by Matthew talking about the second coming. There's even less information for the rapture. And one of the things that you got to keep in mind is this: when you're being prepared for stuff, you've got to have the right stuff. If you're going to be prepared to eat for 2 or 3 months, would you buy, a year's supply of dog food? I think you'd want to buy people food. Now, you may have dogs and they may need dog food, but you need people food. Now, if you run out of people food, dog food might taste real good. We had something back in the, I don't know, 60s or 70s maybe, where the elderly were eating cat food because they couldn't afford to buy real food. That's not good. Somebody wasn't watching after them. So the quality of your oil is important. There are many types of oil. Motor oil for your car, and there's different types of that. Different grades, different weights. You got to have the right kind for the right season, for the right vehicle. WD-40 is an oil. It's a very light grade oil. It's designed to keep the water off. The W is water. Water disbursement, I think it is, something like that. Keeps water from getting into things. It's really not there to help things slide along. It's to keep the water off. You've got cooking oil, and you've got many different flavors of that. Peanut oil, safflower oil, all kinds of different oils. Olive oil. Olive oil was what they used back then. They used it for cooking and they used it for everything. Leviticus 24:2, command the Israelites to bring you clear oil of pressed olives for the light, so that the lamps may be kept burning continually. And they can press the oil more than once. You want to basically get all the impurities out. So the bottom line is, if you're not prepared, start today. Don't start tomorrow. You say, I can't afford it. If you can afford 1 can of beans, buy 2 cans of beans. Buy them on sale. You don't have to buy the big name brands. In fact, I encourage you to buy the store brand whenever possible. Most of the time, all the brands are packaged in the same plant. They just go down. My cat's messing with the tent behind me. They go down an assembly line, and then if it's Chef Boyardee, it goes off this way. If it's a store brand, it goes this way. Same stuff goes in the can many times. Now, it may not be the highest quality, but it's all edible. And you may not like all the flavors. I take my son to the market once a month to do shopping, and he goes by the can spaghetti oil aisle, and as he does, it's usually four for $5, something like that. I mean, it used to be 4 for $1, but it's 4 for $5 now. And he'll pick 4 different types. I tell him, you can pick more than 4, but that's all he picks. And each one's different. That's okay. Now, you don't want to live off of canned foods in general because they've got preservatives in them. They've got too much salt usually. But when we're talking about survival, you do what you have to do. Your best way to shop at the market is to not go down any aisle. Stay on the perimeter. Your produce, meats, vegetables, dairy, all that are on the outside. Bread, it's all on the outside usually. When you pick bread, I know someone who won't eat bread if it's anything other than Wonder Bread white. I mean, it's like, it may taste okay, but it's like eating cardboard, nutrition-wise. At least go for the whole grain wheat or something. Now, I'd like to have a good sourdough French bread occasionally, but that's not a day-to-day thing. You can have cake, which is bread and sugar mixed together, essentially. But you don't have that at every meal. I don't know if you've seen it's hard to talk about him now with his recent past. He's gone now, but Bill Cosby used to have a episode where he talked about cake. It's got flour and milk and butter and good stuff. Well, why not let him have cake for breakfast? We're back. Yeah. We're just about ready to go, aren't we? Okay, well, we're still staying in our high watch mode. I'm thinking this month would be a high watch mode. We got Yom Kippur coming up, the Day of Atonement, the holiest day of the Jewish year. We know the rapture is a Gentile event, you can be a Jew and be a Christian. It's a non-specific Jewish event. So it's not tied to a Jewish festival, in my opinion. But right after, once we're gone, right after that, it will switch to the tribulation. Now, is it the same day, the same hour? I don't know. It could be a month or two, or even a year later. I don't think so. But we know that the tribulation comes after the rapture. And the Antichrist will be on the scene. And we might possibly see him going up. We know the Antichrist is alive today, but he's not the Antichrist yet. He's the seventh king without a crown, so he's a billionaire. Which one of our billionaires is it? I don't know. One that's well liked. So it will be him. He will get shot. We might see that, but we won't see the demon-possessed Antichrist, because he can't be on the scene when we're here unless we see him going up. Once we're off the planet, he can show up. And I know he's fit to be tied to start doing his thing, so as soon as we're gone, he's going to jump right in full, ready to go. The main opposition on this planet will be gone. And then the show is for the people that don't believe yet. That's all the stuff in tribulation, and it escalates. Be ready, people. Don't get caught with an empty lamp. If your lamp is electric, have extra batteries. Until we meet in the clouds, God bless.